Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So, when you do wrong and it comes out in the open, everybody's coming for your head. So is the case of Fani Willis and Judge Scott McAfee. But let's get into it so we can dive deeper into this topic that we've already covered a number of times. This is from theguardian.com, and it reads, Fani Willis and Judge Scott McAfee draw challengers in Fulton County primary. This a district attorney will face Christian Y. Smith in May, while McAfee, a conservative, faces two liberal attorneys. Interesting. The politics in all of this. The embattled Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and F. Judge Scott McAfee have drawn re-election opponents for the May 12th primary ballot as qualifications closes for Georgia's 2024 election cycle. Willis will also face a Republican in November. I'm just going to put it out there. It is quite possibly that Willis is done. Old Sister Fani is going to be done by the end of the year. They may not, and this is what Judge McAfee is going to have to weigh when he makes a decision on if he should take Fani Willis off of this Trump case. Because see, everybody's saying that, well, you know, it sounds like he's pandering and caping for Fani because, you know, that's his boss. She's a district attorney of the whole county. He has to work with her and for her. So if he don't want any kind of repercussions, then he's going to have to tread light. He's going to have to tread lightly on his choice, on the decision he make. But so if he finds in her favor and allows her and Nathan Wade to stay on the case, which I don't think Nathan Wade gonna stay on regardless, but Fani Willis, so if he finds favor for her and allows her to stay on the case, okay, you can do that, but now you're gonna be out of favor with everybody that comes in contact with you, other lawyers, other people that's sitting on the defendants or people that's being prosecuted or prosecutors, the citizens that, you know, pay your salary, who's going to try to find a way to get you out of there. It's going to be a problem because it seems like that you are backing corruption, you know, lying by constitutional employees. But if he goes and dismisses her from the case, now he's going to be out of favor with his boss. And she just may do things to keep him, let's just say, probably at a minimal of finding of caseloads, you know, keeping his salary and his money down a little bit. So, I mean, you know, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. But now you got people who are not only trying to take his job, but trying to take her job. So now he got to think, well, hey, if I judge the wrong way, then the people will get upset and quite possibly boot me up out of this position. But then again, he may want to get up out of there because from what I hear, judges don't make a whole lot based on what they're responsible for, because they're responsible pretty much for everybody's well-being. And to have that kind of responsibility and to be stressed out like that, man, cannot be fun. You know, I'm quite sure he probably want to step down and go, you know, take time and kick it with his family. But then he probably got political aspirations too. So it's a lot that could happen. But anyway, that he could be looking into. So let me keep going. Christian Y. Smith is challenging Willis in the Democratic primary. Smith is an attorney from Sandy Springs, Georgia, and a former prosecutor who came in third in the 2020 race behind Willis and the previous Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard. In 2020, Smith's campaign was to the left of Willis. So you might like extreme left, arguing for an end to the death penalty prosecutions, an end to cash bail, and we see how that's working in New York. So that's a strike against Brother Smith. and the decriminalization of marijuana. Well, you might get some people who will be on your side with that, but that's not a major topic. He marched with Black Lives Matter activists during the George Floyd protests in Atlanta. That is what's gonna sink your ship, because everybody is already nobody want to hear that. Don't get out there and try to campaign on the fact that you stood up and walked with Black Lives Matter, because that'll definitely get your campaign destroyed. Because everybody know Black Lives Matter was a scam. Was it $90 million and can't nobody find it? Nobody knows nothing about nothing or who did what with the money. Yeah, don't nobody want to hear that. Not even your people. And what else? And made the prosecution of Atlanta police officers for the fatal shooting of Jimmy Atchison a centerpiece of his campaign. And I think that's the case that Fani Willis kind of dropped the ball on and let them police officers go. But yet Smith was trying to push that case forward. So, I don't know. He's looking 50-50 right now. He was also critical of the prosecution of teachers in the Atlanta cheating scandal, a prosecution led by Willis as an assistant district attorney. Well, shoot. Well, Mr. Smith, it looks like you got a good chance of winning this little primary, because you're going against everything she did. Now, and this is the thing about politics that we try to talk to you guys, talk to everybody about, that you don't go with party or person, you go with policy. Because, in reality, no one is going to agree with everything anyone says. It just does not happen. You don't agree 100% with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, your bosses, people that work under you. Hell, half the time you may not even agree with yourself, but you know what you got to do in certain instances. No different in politics. You're not going to agree with everything that Trump said. You're not going to agree with everything that Biden says. You're not going to agree with everything that Fani Willis believes in, or this Christian Y. Smith believes in. So you got to figure out what's more important and what's more beneficial to you and your people. Yes, he marched with Black Lives Matter activists during the George Floyd protest. Okay, I guess you can say on the surface level, that's a good thing. You can say, well, he probably didn't have anything to do with the Black Lives Matter scandal with all the money missing. He was just like a lot of us. Because I'll admit, I remember when my daughter, the school she was going to, they had like a march or protest like on a Saturday morning on this big bridge out in Dallas. And I took her to it. She was like, I think elementary, junior high or whatever. Her and her friends, they had like signs and they was marching up. Now, little kids know what they're doing. They was happy to see their friends and walking up and down the bridge with a dang sign in their hand. But you had guys like Senator Royce West was there and other people that, other prominent black people in Dallas marching across the bridge. So, hey, like I say, we all probably took part in it in some form, shape, or fashion. But as time went on, kind of like with Dr. Umar Johnson, after a while, you're like, well, hey, something don't seem right about this. Maybe I need to vet into this even more. And then all of a sudden, the truth comes out and you're like, damn, I can't believe I was part of that. I got to move on. It's okay. Hey, it's a lesson learned. We all go through it. So he could be on the same, he could have was on the same wavelength as, like, say, most of us. So yeah, you could say, hey, but he wanted to end cash bail. It's like, I don't know about that one. You might could talk to him about that. You might could talk to him about that and see if he would change his mind on that one. Death penalty prosecution, that's gonna be kind of hard, because you got some people that want, people gone if they don't commit like heinous crimes. Like, let's say the young lady in Georgia that was the nursing student that was killed by the illegal immigrant. Now, if he get prosecuted and found guilty, will he get American prison time, or will he get deported, or will he get prison time and then deported? Will he be eligible for parole? And if he gets out, spend 20, 30, 40 years in jail and then get deported back to Mexico so he can try to come back? Or would he be eligible for the death penalty? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that people think about, that you should think about. Let me say it like that. When you go to the ballots, not if he's black, if he's a man, is he LGBT, is he Christian, is he Muslim, Republican, Democrat, nothing like that. It's what is his campaign standing on? And so, so like I say, he didn't, you know, say he went against Fani Willis on a lot of things. And right now, Fani Willis is looking bad. So it's kind of like, Biden, when he got in the office, after he came in after Trump, it's like everything that Trump did, Biden's going to do the opposite. So this guy looks like he can go, and he's a Democrat too, but everything that Fani Willis was backing or behind, he goes right against it. So this could be, like I say, the perfect time to jump in there when you see your opponent weak. In contrast, Willis drew support from moderate Democrats and Republicans who are often politically irrelevant in deep blue Fulton County, who were deeply dissatisfied with Howard's approach to prosecution in an environment of rising crime, as well as with allegations of corruption in his office. With nothing else on the ballot, Willis went on to trounce Howard in a runoff that August, replacing a 20-year incumbent. Smith endorsed Howard. Now remember, Howard was the person that Fani Willis was talking about when she said that the people deserve somebody who will not sleep with their employees or subordinates. So then she turns around and do the same thing. So you're going to say she's, a hypocrite. So yeah, old Smith might have a leg to stand on in May. If I was Fani Willis, man, I'm gonna need old Judge Scott to come to a decision real quick so I can start on my campaign, because nobody knew that she was gonna have anybody to run against in May until like today or yesterday. So now she got to get that what you call that. Wait a minute. Now, will she have campaign funds? Oh man, this would be the perfect time to run against Fani Willis, because campaign funds is also part of the hearings that are going on against her in this Donald Trump case. Because remember, she said herself that she took some of her campaign funds, and went on trips, used that cash probably to pay Nathan Wade back. But she used some of the campaign funds when everybody knows you're not supposed to use campaign funds but for nothing but campaign. But like a dummy who was up there upset trying to show her tail, she told on herself. Like they say, if you let somebody talk long enough, they're going to tell on themselves. You let somebody dig a hole long enough, eventually they're going to dig a hole so deep they can't get out of it. That's what happened to her. So now all of it is coming back to bite her in the fanny. So Republicans will have Courtney Kramer on the general election ballot challenging Willis. Kramer is an Atlanta attorney who assisted former President Donald Trump's legal team in Georgia, including working with Trump lawyer Ray Smith during a fake electoral effort that led to the indictment of Trump and 18 others by Willis's office. Kramer is also the former executive director of True the Vote, and represented the organization in court cases against Fair Fight Action, the advocacy organization founded by Stacey Abrams. Okay, well, Georgia don't like Stacey Abrams no more because she can't win for nothing. This Courtney Kramer, I'm saying that I'm gonna take it and say she's a woman. She's a Republican and a Trump backer. Right now, that's looking good. And that's looking good because if the trial continues for Trump and his 18 constituents and Kramer gets in, that son gonna probably get thrown out by the time when she step in office. probably get thrown out, or she's gonna find everybody not guilty and overturn anybody's conviction, anybody who was convicted. So this is going to be a very interesting race. Willis has been under legal fire since court filings revealed that she had been in a relationship with Nathan Wade, special prosecutor on a Trump case in Georgia. McAfee is expected to rule next week on whether she and the Fulton County office will remain prosecutors in the trial, or if instead it will be assigned to another prosecutor. McAfee, who presides over the Trump election interference and racketeering case in Fulton County, faces two challenges from the left. Robert Patillo, a progressive attorney and talk show host in Atlanta, Tiffany Johnson, a former senior staff attorney for Fulton County Judge Maylene Lethbridge. McAfee, who's 34. Man, he look older than that. My God, man, he look older than me. McAfee, 34, who served as prosecutor both in Fulton County and for the U.S. Department of Justice, is a Federalist. Okay, that's what the F is for. Is a Federalist Society conservative appointed to the bench by Governor Brian Kemp in 2023. So judicial appointees in Georgia must subsequently run for office in order to fill the remainder of a term. So he's a Federalist. What is a Federalist? Let's look it up. Can we look this up right quick? Search Federalist. A Federalist definition, dictionary. A person who advocates or supports a system of government in which several states unite under a central authority. The ideas of the European Federalists. Number 2, the member or supporter of the Federalist Party. So they capture both the legislative and executive branches of the federal government from the Federalist. Adjective relating to or denoting a system of government in which several states unite under a central authority. And 2, designating or pertaining to the Federalist Party. So he believes in, I guess, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and whatever other states join together for state government and not federal government. I don't know. I had to look more into that. I gotta research more than that, because that's interesting. It said Patillo, 39, has practiced civil rights law for more than 15 years in Georgia. He also has a long running radio show in Atlanta's WAOK, in which his occasionally idiosyncratic political views have an airing. There are a lot more things that are broken in Fulton County Court that deserves attention, more than Fani and the Trump trial, Patillo said. There are people who have been in that jail for 5 years awaiting trial. Anyone who's going to be a judge needs a plan to bring these cases to court. Johnson worked for the Davis Bozeman law firm, also notable for civil rights cases in Atlanta. Judicial races are nonpartisan in Georgia, but Fulton County has a 3-1 Democrat vote advantage. You got to understand, Georgia, it's like the center of civil rights, thanks to the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. So, in a lot of them, I'm gonna say it's a blue state. It's a mainly blue state, so it's quite possible that you're gonna go from one Democrat to another, all because of the color of the party, which is, which is sad. Because, like I say, we try to get everybody to understand you vote for policy and not people or the party. But Fani Willis, you brought this on yourself. McAfee, you got thrown into this, and so now you probably going to suffer because of the sins of your boss lady. I don't know if I could deal with that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Hey, let's dialogue. You know how we do around here. Also, support the channel. You can like, share, comment, subscribe. 4 for free. 4 for free takes you probably a minute at the most, depending on your network. Now, if you got dial-up, it may take a couple of minutes. But if you got internet like the rest of us, Wi-Fi, you got a Verizon or AT&T. Now, I don't know about Cricket or Boost, with T-Mobile. I don't know about them, but if you got a pretty good plan, like I said, 4 things you can do for free. Shouldn't take too long. Put it out there, help promote the channel, help boost the channel in the algorithm, and that will help, how would you say it? Help support the channel for free. I mean, there are ways you can support monetarily if you, click down in the description box, but I'm not even going to trip on that. All I ask for, like, share, comment, subscribe. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.